Haters, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Les doy la bienvenida nuevamente aquí al canal, conmigo su host, el Diablo. Les doy la bienvenida nuevamente a su canal de El Hater. En esta ocasión, nuevamente nos ponemos de manteles largos, pues estamos recibiendo a una leyenda viviente del metal. Estoy hablando nada más y nada menos que de el guitarrista y único miembro fundador aún de la banda Angra, esta legendaria banda de power y progressive metal. Y aquí tenemos con nosotros a Rafael Bittencourt. Rafael, how are you? Thanks a lot for being here in El Hater for Conversations from the Underworld.
Yeah, hola Mario, el diablo como está escrito aquí.
Yeah.
Hola a todos del hater, muchas gracias. Gracias por la introducción, por las belísimas palabras. Yo puedo continuar en inglés porque, como he dicho, mi español es muy malo.
Yeah, and that's odd because, well, Portuguese and Spanish are like brother languages, but somehow it's easier for us to speak in English.
Yeah, the point is that that's why they're so similar that it makes me too confused.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
totally.
that's the point. I mean, they're very similar, and then there are some words that I start to mess up, and
Yeah,
maybe in English it makes it even more international. You
yeah,
know, for for non-Spanish speakers.
exactly, exactly, man. And uh, well, a few days ago, Angra released their latest album called Cycles of Pain through Atomic Fire Records. I invite you to go and check it out because it's a hell of an album. This time, these guys really go beyond our imagination because the album is amazing. The music is so beautiful. The lyrics are profound, honest, very very sincere. I can totally dig what the band is talking about in each of the songs. So for that, I thank you a lot, Rafael.
Thank you, Mario. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. And without further ado, I will start with our first question. This question is courtesy of Robert Garben, the drummer from Sirit Ungol. And the question is this. Besides aguacate, what do you feel are the most important ingredients in a recipe for guacamole?
Okay. First of all, passion, because Mexican
Yeah,
culture is always about passion. And I like the kind of lemon, the kind of lemon you choose. There are some, I don't like guacamole with very acid lemon, but I prefer it better with, when I do it here in Brazil, I do my own recipe.
Oh,
I don't, yes, I don't, I mix, the yellow lemon and the green one. I like the red onions to be there. It's crunchy and softer, less acid too.
yeah,
Well, the kind of avocado that you pick, I think it's a kind of recipe that the person who is doing, he needs to pick the ingredients. You
yeah,
have to touch it. You have to, okay, I choose this one. That's passion,
yeah,
like really being involved in the process and picking everyone, how you slice everything and chop it all. And I think it's all involved in passion and the way you do it.
yeah. Mostly in this case, I will say the people. The people is the most important ingredient. Their
Yeah,
taste, their
yeah. Same
passion.
with music, man. Same with
Yeah,
music. I mean, you can go to the best studios in the world, but the biggest difference is who is in charge of it.
yeah.
It's not about the equipment, but it's
No,
about who is in charge of it. Who are the musicians? Who's the producer? What's the concept? What's the vision that you have?
totally. Yeah, man. I
Music is
agree
more
totally.
like that.
Yeah, man. Definitely, you are in the correct. It's definitely about the people. It's definitely about the brains, the heart, the soul, and the way you put it all in everything you are doing. Uh, Music, food, writing, just listening, talking. People is the best ingredient.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. The next question I
And
got for you.
also there's,
Yeah,
you know, the cilantro.
cilantro. Yeah,
Cilantro. Here in Brazil, we don't exaggerate on cilantro, you know. So I like to have I have some Mexican spices, and but I also like to mix some Brazilian spices in my guacamole, and I combine cilantro with, now that we're talking about food that I like a lot, you know. And let me see how you say it. I don't know how to say it in, not even in English. Salsa de salsa and perejil.
perejil. Okay.
Perejil, is it the name?
Yeah. How do you
Salsina.
say it in
Yeah,
Portuguese?
perejil. Yeah, I combine cilantro and perejil to make it a little bit smoother.
Yeah, man. Great tips, man. Thanks for that, man. Um, Next question, man.
All right.
This is more focused on the music,
Okay.
death and struggle, and how to make the best out of them are a primary source of inspiration for this amazing album. Tell me, are you satisfied with the price each of you guys had to pay over the years in order to gather the inspiration to create songs like those we find in Cycles of Pain?
That's a tricky one, because obviously when you talk about pain, it's not something that you look for, you know, but also you can't really avoid it completely, because that's, I mean, it's like if destiny wants you to suffer a little in order to grow up, in order to grow mature. Life starts with the pain, you know. When we're born, the air comes to our lungs and we cry because it hurts, you know. Our mother is like all in tears because of emotion and lots of pain, you know. So life starts with the pain, and that's when it all starts. We have to kind of embrace it, you know, accept it. But it's more of acceptance than a prize, you know. Okay, I made a good song out of pain. Would I choose? I mean, our instinct is always looking for pleasure and comfort. It's not looking for pain, because then I will make a good song out of it, you know?
Yeah,
So it's not a prize, it's just a consequence. Because being an artist, the artists, they have a converter in their brains, you know? They have a converter for making bad situation into bringing it to transforming it into something good for the people and for himself. It's not real prize, it's just how it is.
yeah, man. And we Latin Americans, we are very used to seeing pain and death as something such a as a taboo. But as you're saying, it's just part of life. And maybe we are starting to change that chip, that way of thought about the bad things in life, because we all know that from bad things we can also pull out very good things, such as art, such as uh, bounding with other person, um knowledge, growth. So maybe with this kind of album, like Cycles of Pain, it's auxiliary to the people's growth through art.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. You're totally right. We have to understand that it's part of life. As part of life. Um, I get even more worried when young generations, they're so unused to pain that they treat it as a disease. First
Yeah,
frustrations, they treat frustrations, anxiety, anguish, they treat with medicines, you know,
pills,
like
pills, and
if
pills.
feeling bad about life, feeling bad about stuff, is something wrong, something's going wrong with them. So we want to state that pain is hard, it's not something that we look for, it's not that we want pain, and now, okay, I seek for pain.
Yeah.
But when it comes, he has to make you stronger.
Yeah.
You know? Because they will come. They will come.
Totally.
You will lose people that you love. You will get frustrated with your expectations many times. So
Yeah.
you have to be prepared and strong on how to deal with this. That's the idea of cycles of pain.
Yeah, man. Totally. You have to experience it in order to grow, and that's it. That's the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Next question, Rafael. Not many bands can combine progression and melody in the manner you did for this particular album. Tell me, what helped you the most to accomplish this sound?
I think Brazilian music is not only about some stereotyped rhythms, you know.
Yeah.
Brazilian music is not only about rhythms, it's also about harmonies and melodies. And that's when we learn, to combine melodies and harmonies. And then the progressions are also something that you add to the arrangements, is the flow for the music? How do we connect each part to others? That's a lot. I mean, we learned a lot from the progressive bands, but also from many Brazilian artists that they are very progressive in a way, They have a very free way of working their music, like Milton Nascimento and many others, Toninho Horta, and many other artists here in Brazil. They have that kind of spirit in their music. So I think it all comes to Brazilian stuff.
Yeah, man. And it shows because in many parts of the songs, you can hear some parts that are more calm with a little more of that maybe Latin feeling that it reminds us of softer genres like, I don't know, maybe bossa nova, I don't know, maybe baladas that are more like Latin, and the melodies in those genres are very, very crucial. And in this album, I can tell that first of all, you did the skeleton. It's made of melody, it's made of feeling, it's about the lyrics, and then you incorporate all the other elements like progressions, arrangements, and I think that's the way that metal comes out in a better way, because there's a lot of bands that first of all technique, progression, what we can do to make this more intricate, and I don't think that that is the right way to write music, but everyone has their way of doing the things. But I think you totally nail it in this album.
Yeah.
And of course, you've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that sophistication is a matter of quantity. I think Paul McCartney is very sophisticated.
Yeah.
I think many times David Gilmour from Pink Floyd is very sophisticated. So I think sophistication is a word that we pursue. And elegance, and also
Definitely.
depth. We want our music to have depth and sophistication. So it's not a matter of quantity of elements, of quantity of notes, or how fast you play. Sophistication is a brain thing. Is how you see the material, is your musical intelligence finding good solutions, and many times less is more. Many
Absolutely.
times going simple here and being clever on accepting that, is also a way of finding that sophistication and depth. As I said, I want people to be touched more than impressed. I don't want people to be impressed with my music. I want people to cry with my music. I want people to need my music, when there's on the desperate moments. So that's something that I want to go deep inside myself on my desperation and reveal to people. Also, be transparent on my fragility, on my vulnerability. That's when depth, sophistication starts to arise.
Totally, man. We are in the same page. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Great answer. Thanks for that. Um, the next question, man, is, well, the pandemic hit us hard and it obviously messed with people's minds and feelings. In my review, I stated that the album has a cathartic quality. Did you always wanted this album to be a beacon of hope to fight the scars of COVID?
Yeah, that also. Yes, especially for young generations, I think. Because my generation is already lost. It's hard to change. I see people with a very, very solid opinions and everything, but young generations, they're still building up the way they see the world, and the world is very mean many times for them. Reality is mean. They can change. I mean, it's so funny because they seemed already very unprepared for frustrations and changes and pain, and then came, for the teenagers, came the COVID and the pandemic, making it all even more reality, even more frightening.
Yeah.
So yes, I want this to be a beacon of hope, especially for kids who are not yet prepared for that liquid reality.
Yeah, man, definitely. I think it will help a lot of people because, I mean, the melodies and the lyrics are very inspirational. Really, I enjoy all of the lyrics. I feel the feelings that all of you guys put in the songs, and it's a very easy thing to do with this kind of record. So thanks again for that.
Okay, man, you're more than welcome. I'm very glad that you liked it. Serious.
Yeah, man. Uh, man, I got one last question for you before I ask a favor from you with the next question. And the last question is this. What is the best advice you can give to all the Latin American bands that are trying to break into the big leagues of metal?
Okay, first of all, yeah, there are two main pillars to build an artistic project. It could be a drama group, it could be a reggae band or a metal band, okay?
Yeah.
Two big pillars. First, the art itself, the content, the product, okay? And then the sustainability. Okay, it has to turn to have to get some kind of income in order to feed itself. You have to compare it, and this is a serious choice. It's not something that you will do with your friends on the weekend and check, maybe it will happen someday. No, if you open a restaurant with few partners, you won't do it on the weekends and maybe check if it works. You have to really go deep into it, make it on your everyday basis. Obviously, you have to feed yourself, so you probably will have to find a job, but you need to find time on daily basis with a group of people that are committed in the same focus to make it happen. And then you need, if you have that, obviously you have to experiment, try out stuff. Well, few things won't work, other will be successful. And then you need emotional intelligence to deal with frustrations because it's not fast. You need to have perseverance. You have to have how do you call it? You should be lenient to that because it takes time. So you have to think strategically in order to find in the first moment this sustainability, and then look obviously for profit. Why profit? Because profit makes you grow.
Yeah.
If you have a profit, you reinvest to make it bigger, you know, maybe record a video clip, making a better photo session.
Yeah.
That is something you, first of all, you need to take it serious as if you're really opening any other kind of business, you know. It shouldn't be like, oh, romantic, we're friends,
No, man.
we get together on the weekends, we rehearse for hours, and then we end up on barbecue and beer.
Yeah.
Okay, you can also do that, but you have to go from Monday to Monday doing the same.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's a business. If you want to make a life out of it, you need to invest, and not only about invest money, time,
Yeah,
energy, especially time, because most of the people are not willing to let the time with their friends, with their family, time they spend just sleeping, playing video games, watching TV. They are not willing to let go that in order to just get together with their band and work their asses to find that golden cauldron at the end of the rainbow. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of passion. And if you don't have that, or if you're not willing to sacrifice some things or some other aspects on your life, maybe, well, it's just a hobby for you.
exactly. And many musicians, they prepare themselves only to be musicians, only for the music.
Yeah.
They have to know that if you want to have a band, you have to have some business and knowledge in you, you know, and some enterprising skills, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely. And most in these days where, well, money talks most than any way, any time, because I mean, social media, streaming platforms, it's all about money. Art is just in maybe in second, third place in these days, but well, we have to start somewhere. So
Yeah. Well,
uh,
yeah, that's it, man. So what's the last one? Sorry.
the that was all the questions that I got for you. And if you help me to make a question so I can ask my next guest here in Conversation from the Underworld, I will appreciate it a lot.
Okay, so you still don't know who's going to be the guest, right? So it's going
I
to be
don't
kind
know. That's the beauty of it.
okay. Good one. So let's do it. Well, I'd say if it's no matter if it's a young person or more experienced musician, I'd ask, what's the motivation to keep doing it? You know, what motivates you? Because motivation is like the fire inside that keeps us going, keeps us strong to deal with challenges, with hard moments. So keeping that motivation alive is important. So I'd ask about motivation. That word, you can go around that word on your conversation. That'll be cool.
Yeah, man, totally.
You can also ask what was your motivation when you started, and you can ask if it's the same nowadays. You know, that's a good one.
Even better.
Can go around on many other stuff.
Yeah, what started the fire and what's keep it burning?
Yes, cool, great one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
great question, Rafael. And
thank you, my friend.
Rafael, those are all the questions that I had for you. I thank you a lot for your time. I know it's early in Brazil, it's early here in Mexico. So, and I know you have a very busy schedule. So, thanks again for your time. Thanks again for your honesty. Congratulations to you and to all the guys in Angra for such amazing music, a great album. And I'm hoping you come to Mexico to promote it very soon.
Gracias, Mario. Gracias a todos que están asistiendo el Reiter. Espero en pronto estar de vuelta a México.
Muchas gracias, Rafael. Haters,
Yeah.
eso es todo lo que tenemos aquí en la siguiente sección en Conversaciones desde el Inframundo con la leyenda del metal Rafael Bittencourt. Espero que les haya gustado. Si fue así, no olviden apoyar con su like y comprando y escuchando el material solamente de las fuentes oficiales. Cycles of Pain salió a la venta el día 3 de noviembre. No se lo pierdan. Hasta luego, Rafael. Muchas gracias.
Hasta luego, gracias del diablo.